Welcome back. Welcome back to the Kovacs Port. It's time to take a look at our favorite Capes Crusader, Batman in the Detective Comics 1102. Yes, The Courage That Kills Part 2, the second part of a fantastic arc that kicked off last issue, which really blew me away. Batman has investigated some deaths on a boat and been infected by some very dangerous toxin, and he's running out of time. Also, left behind at the scene was a grim message for Gotham, and that is that they will know fear. So, Batman, the clock is ticking. Can he save the day? Well, we're going to find out, because I'm going to go through it page by page. So there'll be lots of spoilers. So do read the book beforehand if you don't sport. Like the video if you can, and please do hit that subscribe button. Now, this is written by Tom Taylor, one of my favorites. I love pretty much almost everything he does. And also, it's from one of my absolutely all-time favorite artists, Mikel Janín. What a beautiful book. Honestly, every single stroke he makes on the page is worthwhile. Now, I do love what's going on in the main Batman title by Jimenez as well, but Mikel Janín and Jimenez put those two together on Batman. Boy, oh boy, you've got a very nice looking book. Now, Batman is in trouble. So Brucey boy, he's going to see his friend Mr. Terrific, who has fast become one of my favorite characters after the year one miniseries that's been running. Really brought me into the character, so I can't wait to find out more about him. I've said that before, I'm going to say it again. But we find out he is infected by this virus, and it doesn't seem to be a cure at the moment. Now, Mr. Terrific, he's doing his due diligence here. He's brought in all the other super brains of DC Universe to try and figure out what's going on. But we found out that it's been 2 hours since Bruce was infected, and he has 34 hours before he needs to be quarantined. Now, after that, right, he's in a bit of trouble, because at hour 46, he's going to start to see blisters and beading around the eyes, that were also present on the previous victims. And he said, you will also slowly lose your inhibitions until your judgment is completely impaired, which means we'll have a rage-filled, violent Batman on the loose. Not a good thing for anybody. No. But Batman's not going to give up, because, he's Batman, right? He's going to figure this out. But he has one clue. He has one single clue. There was an insignia on the lab coat of one of the people found dead on this boat. Now, that must mean that someone with that little insignia, maybe they were the person that released it. Maybe this experiment gone wrong. Who knows? But they trace it through Barbara doing her sort of oracle work to a herbicide company called King Chemicals. And there's a very enigmatic person behind King Chemicals, and that is Lewis King. Now, I'm going to say this book really felt like a James Bond movie. It really does. And I can see the comparisons, of course. It makes sense, right? But there we go. This is very James Bond. So we find out that there's a strange thing, is that Barbara can't find a single lab or warehouse associated with the company. There's no real estate on the book. So where are they? Where would they be manufacturing anything? We find out that Lewis King himself made his fortune through poker, which is unlikely, as Batman points out. So he's originally from Toronto. So Batman's like, right, where is he now? And they find out that he owns and manages a casino in the Casino. And he says, right, off we go in the Batplane. And this new Batplane looks super cool. Look at it. I just love it. It looks so stealthy and military. I love it. Anyway, there we are. But Batman doesn't appear in this far away country. But Bruce Wayne does, on his arm, the Princess Caroline, his old friend over there, to visit this casino. And of course, he is greeted by none other than Mr. King. Of course he would. This is a James Bond movie. The villain always meets you on the steps of the casino. Hello, Mr. Bond. You know what I mean? I love it. It's really cool. Anyway, off they go. Time is ticking now. We've got 20 hours left before Batman. Brucey Wayne's got to get back into quarantine. They go from the casino to his private table, where the stakes are not just high, they're really high. The starting bet is $250,000, and they play cards, as you can see. And it's those two are they're feeling each other out. They're feeling each other out, and they're pushing each other's buttons. The egos are clashing. Okay, but of course, Bruce doesn't give up. And he turns the card to see if he can win the game. But unfortunately, he doesn't. So he loses $500,000. And Bruce just bats it off like it's a nothing. There we go. Now, this guy here, he's also just as brave as Brucey as well. Okay, he's on 20. So he's won the game, essentially. He can win right now, walk away with money. But he's still asked for the card. And of course, he gets the ace. What a surprise. There we go. And this kind of shocks and impresses Bruce at the time, that this guy, he's willing to take these kind of risks. And it's making him realize that this guy, he's not who he seems. Of course, he's not who he seems. Obviously, he's a bad guy, right? And he's got these strange eyes, I will mention, which Bruce picks up right at the beginning, actually. So I'm not sure if this is going to become relevant later on, but he has these remarkable eyes. He says, amber eyes are found in 5% of people, statistically small but hardly remarkable. But your eyes are quite striking, not as vapid as I was expecting. So I think maybe this guy's working out who's who, right? Of course he is. Anyway, we go to Arkham Towers in Gotham, and these plumbers are here to fix the pipes. Well, no, they're not. They're there to shoot the guy, because they've got something that they want from this place. What are they looking for? Well, this chappie here. Now, I wonder who he could be. I wonder who he could be. But it's not what he thinks. He says, is this a prison break? He says, I mean, kinda. This is a prison, and you definitely could get broken. And they bag his face up, and they steal. Now, who is this guy, this redhead? Is it... I'm not sure who it is. Now, I think it's like the Scarecrow or someone like that, but it probably isn't, is it? I'm probably getting it all completely wrong. But you know what? I like it to be a surprise. I like to be surprised. Let me jump back. A couple of hours have passed back in Casnina, and they are... Casnia. They're having a little drinky or two. Very, very expensive drink by the looks of it, of course, because these people are very, very rich. And they have a little conversation. And it's interesting because he says, casinos make money no matter what country they're in. He says, I have other business interests here. He goes, really? Any projects I might want in on? So he's trying to sort of pry, trying to see what he can find out, maybe see what Mr. King here could accidentally reveal that he's into. But he's very, very tight-lipped. He says, perhaps. He says, I've watched your endeavors in Gotham over the years. You, your family before you. And Bruce says, and? He says, and do you ever get tired of trying to help a city that continually kicks you in the face? And Bruce says, it's a challenge, but it's home. He says, I think you're in a pretty abusive relationship with your home. All quite damning. This guy maybe wants to sort of, I don't know, eradicate the city, start from scratch. Who knows? We don't know what his intentions are. He says, I know what happened to you when you were a child, Bruce. Gotham hurt me too. It took my father from me. So this is really interesting too. So maybe there is reason enough for revenge on Gotham. So back to Barbara. Now, what he does, I guess what he does here is he pours out the liquid of the glass, and maybe he sends some kind of DNA to Barbara. That's what I thought was going on. Or maybe he just threw the drink away because, you know, I'm on duty, I don't drink. I thought we were going to get a little James Bond, scan the DNA, find out more about who this guy is, because there's no information about him. And this is what she finds out. Up to a while ago, didn't exist. He's completely fictional. You know, this person, for all intents and purposes, just popped up out of nowhere. So Bruce says, listen, I'm going to follow him. He's heading out of the city towards the mountains. I think I know why King Chemicals doesn't have any known laboratories. And we follow him down. The operations are secret. Of course they're secret. They're the bad guys. And Bruce infiltrates this sort of mountain hideaway where he finds this lab with lots and lots of containers that look like being shipped somewhere. And he says, this isn't a laboratory. And it isn't. It isn't a laboratory. Look at it. It's got this giant turbine in there. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But Barbara, she says, Batman, something's wrong. His personal history, it's been altered. No, not just altered, completely fabricated. Like I said earlier, if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't have seen it. Articles and wikis have been created and manipulated. Date stamps have been changed. Metadata has been modified. I can't find a single genuine picture of King that's more than a year old. Every photo from Louis' past, every video, they're digitally constructed or AI. Batman, I don't think Louis King exists. Then we see some documentation there with Star Labs logo on top of it. So maybe they're in cahoots too. It's all very interesting. But before Batman can figure anything out, the loudspeaker goes off and it says, from infection on a boat in Gotham to my base of operation 10 hours. What an impressive monster you are. I understand you, Batman. Everyone else is going, what the hell? And everything starts rumbling, right? I guess some sort of fail-safe button has been hit, and this is all going to collapse on top of everyone in there and kill them. He says, it's a shame. I should have evacuated my staff faster, showing that this guy doesn't care about people whatsoever, just whatever mission that he is on. But secrets must be buried. Now, Batman does his best, as usual, because he's Batman, to save as many people as he can, but he just gets caught in the rubble, and he's injured. He is very injured, and he crawls out to find old Louis here in a very different sort of visage, that of a lion. Yes, he is the lion. He's got some sharp nails now, and he's called the Lion. And he's like, are you hurt all this time? and you're just a man, a ridiculous man, and they fight. Now, Brucey is at a disadvantage here because he, like I say, he's injured. Ribs are getting broken. And he realizes it's time to get out of there. So he calls the old bat plane over. It shoots out some kind of harness. He grabs it and he tries to fly off to safety, leaving the villain behind. He must be pretty hurt, and that virus must be really, really starting to take effect because Batman don't back down. He does not back down, and off he flies. He says, too much rattling in my face, too much ringing in my head. What he said about my fear, he knew. He knew the virus is in me. Breathing out hurts. Breathing in hurts more. Can't take in enough oxygen. 25 hours until quarantine. Can't lose consciousness. I don't have time to. And then he passes out. So Batboy is in a lot of trouble here. A lot of trouble. And the Lion knows that poison is in Batman's blood. Now, it was a really good issue, actually. Really interesting. It very much felt like a James Bond film. And I'm gonna say something I didn't think I was gonna say in this video. It kind of took the edge away here. It was like, hi, I'm the Lion. And they have a little fisticuff fight and Batman runs away. There was something about it. It felt slightly anticlimactic in a sense. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. It just seems like this villain is really sort of a little bit arbitrary, really. Like, you know, he's just sort of thrown in here maybe to get us to the next place. I just felt his introduction felt a little bit cheesy. This is way, way, way beyond Tom Taylor's level of writing. But all in all, it was a really good book, right? Batman's in trouble. Okay, it's not going well for him. We have a new villain on the scene. Intentions we don't know. We have someone being kidnapped. Maybe that's the person behind everything, and he's been engineering it, and he also engineered his own escape. We don't know. The twists and turns are coming. We're going to find out hopefully soon. But what we do have is a Batman unconscious in his Batplane and the clock ticking away. So I guess we'll find out next month what happens. Tom Taylor, Mikel Janín. I'm really enjoying Detective Comics since they've come on board. It's sort of bringing Batman back to being, you know, the detective that we always knew he was. And I'm also quite enjoying the Batman book over by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. So we're getting a double Batman every month. That's good. And I know also Dark Patterns is getting a lot of hype. Everyone likes Dark Patterns. I've got to catch up on it. But it's all looking good for Batman, especially with the new knife fight coming as well. The DC tie-in. It's a good end of year for us Batman fans. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Do let me know yours. Like the video if you can. Hit subscribe too. I'd really appreciate it. So take care. And we'll see you soon.